And we are live. What's going on?
Hey,
Hey, everybody. I'll give everybody a second to start getting in here. They're like, what in the world? It's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, not 9:30.
I was gonna say it's getting pretty late where you are, right?
It is, man. It is getting late. And I don't know. It was an awesome day. I had last night, had an awesome time with Kip and his family. And then today, like Larry and Cassie and Kip and his family, the Backwoods Carnivore, the ground beef guy, like we had so many people out, not just YouTube
Awesome.
folks, but like we had people from the community. It was amazing, bro. And I just like me and Kip last night were specifically trying to figure out a way to get in touch with a guy from Tokyo to get him flown to South Carolina to for the meetup. I don't know how we were going to work it out, but we were trying. We were solving the world's problems. And I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
wish I'd been there. I really do. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
have to set that up, bro.
yeah. Um, so it was barbecue, chats, carnivore talk, meeting families, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of the folks that were in Carnivore Quest community, um, it was basically their private group meetup that they had scheduled. And it was really a small thing as far as number wise. I think we had like between 50 and 60 folks that showed up, but it
Mm.
was it was awesome though because these are some of the folks that have been with in the private community with us since the beginning, man. So they have
Oh, no.
seen my entire journey, most all of Cassie and Larry's journey, and so it was really cool to actually I mean, you talk to people so much, like all these folks. You got Shelly, I love Shelly. You got Susan, you got all these folks. You got Keto Cheeto, you got Kelly Price. It's good to see all those folks, man. But
Mm.
being able to like walk out and put faces with like live faces with names is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
Larry's son, little Larry, I love the dude. Like I love Larry's son. He's got a heart just like his mom and dad. He's amazing. Stayed on the grill for most all the day, getting dehydrated out in the sun, grilling hamburgers, hot dog weenies, and steak, and like fed all of us. It was
Wow.
awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Really nice. Oh yeah, that so you mentioned Carnival Backwoods was there. We had a great time. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
John, it was awesome. I'm glad you and your wife could make it. Hope you guys made it home safe. They're about 3.5 hours outside of where we are.
Mm.
Um, and so it was awesome. Carnivore
Oh,
Chuck, what's up,
nice.
brother? Good to
Nice.
see you.
It's
I
really
just
good. Kind of things are really good because the YouTube thing is great for community, but just being able to meet face to face, that just kind of really seals the deal. That kind of really brings the community together, right?
Oh, it absolutely does, man. And
Mm.
and like because it's one thing to meet once a week and talk, and I love that, and I love the community even here on YouTube. A lot of these folks, like you get to know them so well, and they share their stories, they share their hearts with you, and it just adds another dimension to it, man, and it makes
Mm.
it more personal. These are people that real people. I say it all the time. It may be cliche. I hope not, but like even if it feels cliche, it's not. These are real people with real issues in real life who are bringing change, man, to their situations, finding change, hope. And it's almost like even though we're not face to face, we are together in this because in some people, even here on the channel, on the YouTube channel, they don't have anybody else. And the only support that they get is from jumping in here and hearing you and I cut up and chat and just, go on and each other. So I think it's
Mm.
critical to have that community time.
Yeah. That's part of the reason that I'm off to Sydney in a couple of weeks. It's just like there's such a drought in Japan of people in the low carb, keto, or carnivore space, you know. So um, I'm really looking forward to getting to Australia and meeting up with a lot of carnivore and keto people.
Oh, absolutely. So how long is it going to
Mm.
take you to get there? Like you,
Um, Flight time, it's about actual flying time. It's probably about 13 or 14 hours.
oh wow, yeah. So you got a trip.
Yeah, and yeah, about 13 or 14 hours, and there's a stopover there too. So I'm stopping in Singapore on the way. So
Oh, nice. Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. But
Mm.
I mean, you've traveled internationally before because
Mm.
you've lived all it. See, I've never even been out of the southeast of the United States, bro. Like I haven't even seen all of the country that I live in. No, I've never even considered going to another country. Like,
Yeah. It's one of these things that once you get the bug,
mm,
then you just you can't stop, you know? It's like you once you get that little itch and you've tried it, done it a few times, it's like I can't stop now, you know? I just I love that kind of the excitement of getting ready to get on the plane and traveling and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
there is a couple of places that like I really would love to go. Like
Mm,
it for me, Israel because of my faith, you know. Israel would be one place. That's probably number one on my bucket list. The
mm.
other one, I love Australia, man. Like I do. Like I don't know what it is about Australia. Apparently, everything in Australia can kill you. There's like 9 bazillion different poisonous.
Basically.
Everything's like everything can kill you in Australia, apparently. But I've
Mm,
always wanted to go there. I love the accent. I love all of it, you know?
yeah. It's a great place, and it's I think one of the things for me about Australia that it always feels like I'm coming home to is like it's just such straight talk from everyone in Australia. Like, you know, it's very, very direct, very, very simple, and also, you know, a lot of joking around and stuff. So I really like the kind of the Australian way of doing things.
Absolutely. That's
Mm.
awesome, man. Oh, we got a super chat, bro. Oh, look, Bella Brat. Thank you. Fun. When are you going to Sydney? So excited for you. I love traveling, and Australia is on my bucket list. I'm in San Diego.
Nice. So I'm heading off second week of October. And yeah, I'm going for low carb down under. You can check out the event information on lowcarbdownunder.com.au. They've got a live stream of the event as well that you can join. And yeah, I want to go and gonna go and see, like, it's from Friday the 13th through to Sunday the 15th, and I'm going to see Dr. Paul Mason talk and Dr. Eads and people like that. So I'm really looking forward to it.
It's gonna be a good time, man. Mason's
Mm,
he's amazing. He's so smart, dude. Like even watching his
yeah.
videos, you know, he's got some good stuff. And they all are, you know, but Mason's really good. I really enjoy his. He's got one with Chapey that I've watched a couple of times on seed oils.
Mm,
It was really good.
yeah. And Bella's just asking in the chat, Dave, will you see Rena there? Um, uh, if she's going, I guess, but I think Rena lives in Istanbul. So
He does.
yeah. So unless she's specifically going to the event, I don't, I guess I won't catch up with her. But yeah, if she's going, hopefully, yeah, we can catch up.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Running tap says the polys are the most deadly thing here.
So do you understand what polys are?
Well, the only reason that I do is because Bella Brett asked, and he
Politicians.
yeah,
Politicians.
politics,
Yeah.
and I'm like that. You know, honestly, that's a worldwide problem, homie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just
It's beyond the borders of Australia, but yeah, they are pretty bad in Australia. Yeah.
yeah, man. Like, didn't they take all the guns away and stuff in Australia, like personal
Yeah,
ownership?
that was in 1996.
Yeah.
I think you can. I'm not sure of the rules, but because I was out of the country when this all happened. But
Yeah.
I think you can still own one, but you've got to have special licenses and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, that'd a big buyback.
yeah, yeah. I always thought it was hilarious when they called it a buyback because I'm like, why? How do you buy back something that you never owned?
You didn't know.
It,
Oh, that's a
it
good
was
point.
it
That's a
was
good point.
never yours. How are you buying it back?
Yeah.
But whatever, I digress. I'm not going into that because, like, I know I live in South Carolina. Everybody in South Carolina, I think it's like an unwritten rule that if you're from the South and you're from the sticks, like you have to own more guns than family members in the house. Like that's just an unwritten rule somewhere. Everybody's
Mm,
got way more firearms than necessary. But I mean, we hunt and all those things, but you know, we just like guns. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. Everybody's got their right to believe and do whatever they want to do, I guess. But I do agree that the politician thing, man, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Most of them are causing way more problems than they are solving problems. So,
indeed. Yeah.
but I tell you what, honestly, the people of the country is where all. I don't care what your governmental makeup is. The people of every single country have the power. The politicians are whatever they are. When the people of a country get fed up with something, they can absolutely change whatever the problem is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the issue there, I think, is that people feel powerless because basically the game, I mean, the game plan, whether it's intentional or it's just by sheer dumb luck, it's divide and conquer, right? So
Oh, absolutely.
as long as you can keep everyone divided, then you can conquer them.
Oh, absolutely. And that's
So
why it's
that's where the issue is.
100%. That's what it is. And that's why it's important for us, man. And I push show people love, live by example. You don't have to agree. You can still show them love. Disagree to agree to disagree. Whenever I'm talking about carnivore, but the principle it can be cross applied to basically every other way. We can agree to disagree and still stand for what we believe in. I stand
Mm,
for what I believe in. That doesn't mean I have to force it down your throat. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna give in on my position, just because it doesn't make someone else happy. But at the
mm,
same time, I don't have to be a jerk and like just force it down your throat either. So,
mm.
but whenever it's the government doing it, the people can absolutely do something about it at some point. We got to come together and quit letting most people feel the same way as that about things. They want to believe how they want to believe, and they want you to have your own right to believe how you want to believe and live how you want to live as long as it's not bothering other people. Most people are that way. But
Mm,
you leave it to the government and the news agencies and whatever that might look like. They try to divide us by our color, by our nationality, by our religious beliefs, by our all these different things. The more they can divide us, they know that we're going to spend more time fighting amongst each other than we are going to be fighting against them for doing the bull crap that they do.
mm. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I'm just reading grumpy old Ben's comment.
Oh yeah, what do you say? My wife has a 9 millimeter Springfield XM here in the Philippines. I behave, of course, bro. I think we all have that wife with a Springfield. Oh my goodness, mine's got a 38 special. Oh, Bella's got. Oh, look at her super chat. Thank you.
Cheers, Bella.
If you two could go wherever you wanted, where would you go and why? And what would you eat? That's a good question.
If I
Where
could
would
go
you
wherever
let's
I
go
wanted. You know, I for me, I think the place every time I think of where I want to go, um, I always kind of it's always Singapore that jumps out at me.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like you
Yeah.
are. That is really cool.
So yeah, I'd like to go to Singapore, and I don't know, good restaurants there, but a steak in Singapore. Yeah. How about you, Sean?
Oh,
Anywhere
dude.
in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Obviously, like I said a while ago, I would want to go to Israel because in my faith, that's where Jesus lived. He walked on the earth. Not that he, whatever. I like the history of it. I would like to just go see some of the places that I've studied about. What would I eat? Whatever, lamb. I think they got a lot of lamb there, and so I would probably. I've
Mm.
never had lamb either, by the way, in my life. So, maybe it's amazing.
Ah, yeah, lamb's awesome.
Yeah,
Lamb
so
is
I'd probably
awesome.
try
Mm.
lamb. And then secondary, like I said, Australia, just because I like one of my favorite movies as a kid. And maybe this is why Crocodile Dundee. I used to love that with Paul. What's his name?
Hogan.
Paul Hogan. Yeah, that's it. That's not a knife. That's a knife. I loved it, man. Like so that I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Mm.
And the other I don't know, man. The third on the bucket list would probably be like I don't know, man. I kind of always wanted to see India. I don't know what it is about India,
Really?
but yeah, India's like got the biggest population of people on Earth. Like, what is it like 2.2 billion people or something?
Mm.
I mean, like it's extreme. Like, there's a lot of people there, and
Mm.
like I just always wanted to go see like what that looks like, in that place. So I don't know. It's
It'd be an
interesting.
experience.
Hmm.
It would really be an experience. So I think I've never been there, but I from talking to Indian people I've worked with, I think one of the most kind of culturally shocking things for me would probably be seeing the big divide among people. Because I
Hmm.
think, like in Japan, in Australia, and I'm not sure about America, but I guess it's kind of similar. The um, the kind of the middle class is kind of like everyone's kind of there are extremes, but the majority
Hmm.
of people are in a band, right?
Oh yeah,
But I think
absolutely.
in India, it's like you're either up here or you're down here. There's no middle. It's from
Oh,
what I've heard. Yeah. So
really?
it's either extreme poverty or extreme wealth.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
That would be interesting. And I mean, and that's the thing that a lot of people take for granted. Even those who struggle, financially and whatever. And believe in me when I tell you, I've never, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth by any means. And for those that forget, this is a green screen. Like, this is not my house. You can put my house in the fireplace of this house. I wouldn't say I struggled as much as some people have. I've worked at least 1 to 2 jobs my entire life, minus the 3 years that I was just depressed and couldn't do anything, function. Um, you know, but even struggling like we do in this country, we have access to things that other people in other places don't have access to. Even if they had the money, they couldn't get it. Those some of those
Mm.
things without lots of trouble being had. So I mean, we really have to be thankful and count our blessings for the things that we do have, and be conscientious about that. That it's not the same everywhere, and
Mm.
and that could be changed. Some people, you've got part of the world. I'm not for like social what do you call it, like giving the government dictating where all the money goes and taking money from one person who earned it to give it to other people. I'm not for all that, but I am for people who have been blessed being generous and blessing other people, because you
Mm.
have more than you need, and you should give out of a heart of blessing. I just thought that's the right thing to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. So, Yeah, Ben saying you're right about the class divide. I traveled from British Embassy to Taj Mahal, night and day on the journey. People, oh my goodness, people defecating on the side of the road due to lack of facilities. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Wow. Yeah. So,
He,
yeah.
Twin
So
Mail said, I have 4 sheep in my front yard too. Who's and get my herd started. Nice.
nice.
That's awesome. He said lots of vegetarians in India. That would be awesome because they do. I think because the cow in India is sacred to them, they won't eat it. I believe it's part of their religion, right? That's what I've
Mm,
heard anyway. I could be wrong. Oh yeah,
yeah.
he answered down here, not for
Okay.
food. Yeah, maybe India is not a good idea for me because they're not going to be too happy with a guy who literally eats cow every single day like it's his
That's
job.
right.
It's probably not good. I didn't think that one through. Good point there. Oh, did you see
So
something I
just
missed?
as we're going through these, Sean, can I put out a question to everyone else? So Bella asked us
Yeah, bro.
if we could go anywhere in the world right now, where would we go and what would we eat? Can we ask
Mm,
the question to the people in the chat as well? Can you let us know if you could go to any country right now, where would you go and what kind of food would you eat?
yeah.
We're really interested to see what kind of results come out from this. Yeah.
Boss,
Let's
I've
jump
seen
some.
so many people struggle lately. I don't want to get into politics. I wish we would take care of our own people. I wish people could learn how to eat carnivore and not eat junk. Yeah, I think that's a really good point and a really good place to
Mm,
start because like nobody is going to start trying to take care of somebody else when they're consumed with taking care of their own problems. And when you start eating carnivore, it starts eliminating your problems and it clears your mind up and gives you like honestly, I'm not tooting Dave's horn or my horn, like it gives like there's no way I could have done this before carnivore or even thought about doing this before carnivore. It's a lot of work to do some of this stuff. Dave's putting out videos every day. Sean, on the other hand, is doing lives and barely getting any videos out. But at the same time, it's done out of a heart of, trying to help other people find the answers that I found, and it's a lot of work. So I feel like I agree, man. Like I feel like, um, you know, that's huge for us to get out of the health problems that you have, and that frees you up to be a blessing to other people, and that's huge, man, because you could affect so many other folks, man.
mm.
I'll get to some of their answers, bro. So Sean, are you saying you don't play the piano? I actually do play the piano. That's not my piano though. I couldn't afford that piano.
Oh, you
Not
do
even
play
close.
the piano?
I do. I took piano lessons for 5 years when I was little. I can read a little bit of music. I tried to learn how to. A friend of mine would always play by ear, and I was jealous. And I could pick out a tune a little bit by ear, but mostly like, I could read basic music notes. And yeah, I took for 5 years. I'm not very good at it. I can play the radio better than anything. But I can play a little bit of piano.
Nice.
Absolutely. Oh, Mama B, Scotland,
Scotland.
Scotland. Yeah,
Scotland. Scotland.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, absolutely. And everybody, like Buck said, everybody hit that like button for us. I always
Oh,
fail to
yeah.
mention hit that like button. Maybe send a message real quick to a friend to jump in and join us. Ask your questions. Put them in the chat, and we'd be glad to answer what we can. Neither one of us are doctors. We don't claim to be. We got a little bit of experience and a real big heart. How about that?
Yeah.
Um, Oh, Carnivore Scott. I would go back to Germany and eat almost all of it except for the breads and sweets. Oh man, that's awesome. Scott's got a great channel too. Have you jumped into any of his after party live streams, Dave?
I haven't. No. Yeah. I'll have to pop over.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Yeah, people can check that out too. He usually does like the after parties after we go live on Friday nights and after Alia and them on their keto cookout, I think it is called. Um, Scott's
Yeah.
jumping in there and doing his live
Nice.
thing, so it's pretty cool. Good
Mm.
show. My brother, that's one guy I got to meet. My buddy Steve. He's got it. He's got it. He's starting his carnivore, story out. He's dude, not long into it, done lost 50 pounds. Wife's losing weight. Like they're getting healthy. They're doing stuff, going on vacations. I got to meet him today. Awesome time.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
I'm thankful for people like Steve, man. He really blessed my heart today. And it's not even the first time, man. The first time I got an email from him, he blessed my heart. He's doing great, and I cannot wait, dude. I can't wait to see where this man is in the not so distant future, man, because he is
Mm.
killing carnivore and he's knocking out those goals, and that's inspiring to me, bro.
Mm. Those results in that time frame are just awesome.
I mean, what else can you do and be healthy and feeling as good as you feel and drop 50 pounds in like, no time at all? Like what was it, Steve? Was it, it's been what, a month, a little over a month, right? At 2 months. I mean, it's like no time. I mean, that
Yeah.
you are on mute, brother.
Sorry, he was in our live stream earlier, maybe about 8 weeks or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
8 weeks, right at 2 months. I couldn't remember if it
Yeah.
how the exact week number, but it's right at 8 weeks. I remember
Mm.
that. He said he got to Ethiopia and Ethiopian food. Yeah,
Ethiopia. Wow.
that's what's up.
Wow.
Buddy John, yeah, Ireland or Israel and Israel. Yeah,
Wow.
my dad actually. So like, I actually pastored for a little bit, like interim pastor.
Mm.
And my dad years ago, he mentioned to me. He says, "I had this dream that you're gonna preach in Ireland one day." And I was like, my dad is crazy. Like he's forgot, he's lost it. Okay. Because I didn't see it. He saw it, I didn't see it. And I thought about that not too long ago, and I thought, well, you know what? I get to talk to people about carnivore on YouTube all over the world. I'm talking to people in Tokyo tonight. I'm sure there have been people from Ireland in here. So maybe my dad saw this back
Mm.
then, and I thought he was crazy. And if he had, if you had told me this 10 years, if you'd have told me this 2 years ago, I would have thought you were crazy. So who knows, man? I think it's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy how stuff plays out, right?
Right. I think you got a new member, Sean.
That's awesome. Oh, that's my hey, thanks, bro. I
Carnivore
appreciate it.
Backwoods.
Yeah, carnivore backwoods. I appreciate that, brother. Awesome. John says I would go see my family in Italy and have lots of veal and lamb. Yeah, that's something else I've never had is veal.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Uh, Italy is such a beautiful country too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the history in Italy is amazing too, you know?
Mhm. So, to if I could talk about Italy for a second, but one of the times I visited, well, the only time I visited there, we went to a place. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, but it's called Al Bello Bello, and there's all these like I don't know, ancient houses made they're kind of round houses, and the roofs are kind of, you know, cone shaped. And they are like that. They're shaped like that, and they're made out of like these kind of bricks that can be put together and dismantled very quickly. And they're put
Mm,
together like that because years and years ago, when the taxes were really high in Italy, like the property taxes, they
mm.
built these like dismantleable houses so that when the tax inspectors came round, they could dismantle the house and move it somewhere else until the tax inspector had gone away, and then they could bring the house back.
Get out of here.
It's crazy. So they could just move these houses and then put them back so they could skip out on their property taxes.
That is wild, dude. The history is amazing, dude. Like hearing
Yeah.
about stuff like, I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine like just packing like there's your house, just packing it up, and like there's not a house there, and then all of a sudden you did moving it back just to
Yeah.
dump the taxes on it.
I mean,
Oh
they
my
are
god!
small relatively, but like it's a lot of work to get out of your
Yeah,
taxes. It's
yeah. I'm like, that's what we call in the South stepping over 100 to pick up a 10. Like you could have just went and earned the money to pay your taxes by the time you took the whole thing apart and
that's
moved it
a good
and
point.
then moved it
Good point.
back. Like I used to say it all the time about, I'm like you stepping over 100 to pick up a 10, homie. Like just you would save more time if you would just get up and go to work and do your thing and do what, pay your thing, pay your bill, whatever, than you
Right.
are working around it. I appreciate you, John. Man, that means a lot, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, Kiwi Keith, the Carnivore. Thank you both for all you've done for the Carnivore community. Much love and respect. Thank you, man. I appreciate, man,
Yeah,
you guys
thank
don't
you. That's very
know.
kind of you.
Absolutely, man. I'm so encouraged. I'm not just saying that, because I'm on YouTube, man. Like you guys, some of you guys send me messages all the time, man, that are exactly what I need when I get them. The encouragement is off the charts. I mean, you know, so I appreciate you guys more than you guys will ever know, man. Oh,
Yeah.
that means a lot. I mean, even the haters, bro. Like the haters just let me know that I'm a worthy adversary, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I think it's awesome.
Mm.
Oh, let's see here. I don't want to miss a bunch of them like I did because I switched my screens. Yeah, ketone burger. I love vegetarians. Oh, I do too. They're tasty.
Yeah.
I, yeah, absolutely. Celebrate Canada for whatever I need. Kids even want to cook. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm.
Thank you for hitting the like button. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, Ed Scott says
Wow. We've got
if
a
we would
few
just
people in.
oh yeah, man. There's 105 in here right now, and it was last second,
Wow.
man. I should, like I said,
Nice.
I spent time with Larry and Kip, and I love those guys. They mean the world to me, and it was really, amazing and humbling today to be able to speak with so many people that's traveled the journey, like I said. But then I was like, man, I want to talk to my man Dave. So I texted him like literally like 10 minutes before we jumped on here. I was like, hey man, what you doing? let's do a live and chat real quick. So I appreciate you doing that,
Yeah.
man.
No, I appreciate you reaching out. If I was feeling a bit feeling a bit lost this weekend because it was like, hang on, it's 10 o'clock on Saturday morning and I'm not looking at my computer. What's going on? It's a bit weird.
Right, yeah,
So
you get used
yeah,
to hanging, man, and
yeah,
yeah, I really enjoy our time together, man, and
yeah.
it's good interaction and it's encouraging as well.
Mm,
Scott says if we would just take care of our direct circle of influence, I suspect we would be better off. Absolutely, I
mm.
agree. That's one
The
thing.
the more you take care of your direct circle of influence, the more your influence expands.
Hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Mm,
And I can't remember who was I talking to. Um, JT or Carrie one I was talking to this week, and we were
mm,
talking about getting so busy with doing YouTube and all the behind the scenes stuff and talking to people, which is where I spend most of my time. Um, you know, but at the same time, I've got to be better about my influence with my kids and my wife. You know what I mean? Because and the reason why I say that, the light the my quote that I have it written in the flyleaf of my Bible just to remember it, and it says the light that shines the brightest shines the strongest at home.
mm.
Just to remind me that like if I'm not applying these principles and being there for my wife and my kids, then it really doesn't matter who else because I'm sacrificing them on the altar of success with somebody else and I missed the point, right?
Mm.
So I got to be a lot more conscientious about that and take more time to focus on them while I can,
Yeah, that's a good reminder for all of us, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get wrapped
Mm.
up in making money, especially as a man, trying to provide for your family. That's your first priority, I feel like. But like,
Mm.
if you're spend so much time providing for them that you're not there for them. I mean, you got to find that balance, and that's the hard part
Yeah,
about it.
because you can kind of get very single focused and yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then like I know you got your daughter, and like my daughter's 12, my son's 15, and before you know it, like my 15-year-old, 3 more years, and he's 18, and it's not long, and he's out on his own doing his own thing. He's
It's
almost to that stage now,
and it goes so fast, right?
like that, man, like that.
Mm.
You have all these. I had all these plans when he was a blonde-haired little toddler just wobbling around, and I'm gonna do this with my son and that with my son. And plans are just like starting a diet or anything else that you change your life. You make plans and never follow through, man. You
Mm.
kick the can down the road, and tomorrow never comes to do those things because they're going to grow up and they're going to go out into the world. So we got to take advantage of the moments that we have today because
Mm.
they're not going to be here forever.
Yeah, very good point.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I missed some of these. It's all. You got Cheryl says Germany, Iceland, and Norway.
Oh, nice. I definitely like to do Germany again. Yeah.
hmm I, yeah, that's one. That's some
Eric's
fun.
France and Italy.
Yeah.
Nice. And running taps in Brisbane.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's that part at?
Brisbane is probably like so it's on the east coast, and if you're thinking about the whole length of Australia or up the east
Mhm.
coast, Brisbane is probably close to the very middle, right on the coast.
Okay.
Yeah. And then where I'm from, Melbourne, that's right down at the bottom, and then Sydney is kind of right in the middle between Brisbane and Melbourne.
Okay. The main
Mm.
thing I remember is when we studied the reefs in school. The reefs.
So
I was
yeah,
like,
the reefs are kind of north of Brisbane,
mm,
much further north.
oh yeah. Oh, but what is it? Northern New York, way up near. I think they're talking about they're not where they want to go, but where they're from. I think.
Ah, okay.
Okay. What'd you say? Oh my gosh, son, play piano with Kelly Hogan and Bella Steak and Butter Gal. Oh my God, fundraiser would pay money to see that. Oh, I know, right?
That's an awesome idea.
It is, man. It is. It is an awesome idea. I had a fantastic time talking to Kelly. That's the first time I'd ever talked to Kelly, and you know how awestruck I was. I was fanboying out, trying to come up with the questions and keep my composure. Like I'm sitting here talking to Kelly Hogan for the first time. Watched her forever. Had a huge influence, on her information, and her charisma is just infectious.
Mm.
Talking with her, and then like 10 minutes into talking with her, in pops Dr. Barry from Poland, and I'm like, at the same, it doesn't matter how many times you talk to these people, like they have such an influence on me. It's just I don't know, it's awestruck. They're doing great things. They're great people. So
Mm.
it's a great time, but it was very humbling.
Yeah,
It would be
it's
awesome
really
to play the
cool.
piano.
Yeah.
Just talk with them. Oh, Christina again here from New Zealand. That's awesome.
Hey, Christine.
Good to see you. It's, it's not a different country, but I'd like to go on an Alaskan cruise. I'm not sure there would be plenty of meat. Yeah, if you eat a lot of
Mm.
salmon or something, that'd be cool.
Nice.
Oh my goodness! Make sure I don't miss one. I know there's a bunch of them. what is that? Nagaland in northern India, majority Christian. Huh.
Oh, okay. Nagaland. Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Interesting.
I didn't know
Uh,
that either.
I think Aiko, I think, did you tell me before you're in Okinawa? Is that right? Okinawa?
That's where my older half brother was born. My dad was in the military with his first wife during what sometime around the time of Vietnam, I believe, or
Ah.
not long after, something like that. And my older brother was born in Okinawa on base, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh,
That's somewhere I need to visit too, is Okinawa.
Okinawa.
Yeah.
Josh
Cool.
says I play the bass and keyboard. Just got one of my basses tuned up. I'm in the process of restoring an early '80s Reenbacher bass. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
Maybe you're the guy I need to talk to. Make me some music for a little intro. I'm having a hard time. I want to make one of those intros, like Larry and them guy. You put your music in there and all the things, and have an intro to
Mm.
our live every Friday night. But I can
Yeah.
never narrow down the music, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I started instead of put it up. Dave, you gonna burn yourself out? Take a break. Talking about the videos, all the multiple
So,
videos and such.
yeah. So I'm the kind of person that I, if I, like, you're never going to see me lying on the beach reading a book, you know? I mean, you
Right.
might see me reading a book, but, definitely not, lying on the beach and stuff like that. Um, I have to be doing something. I've got to be active all the time. And, you know, so relaxing for me, my relaxation or my break time will actually be as soon as I'm kind of ready to go to the airport and get on the plane and travel to Australia and all that kind of thing, that's my relaxation time. That's a perfect break time for me. Just sit on the plane. I'm forced to basically disconnect, because even if the plane has Wi-Fi, I can't really, it won't be that fast likely. So I can't really use my phone and all that kind of thing. So that'll be the perfect downtime. And yeah, just being away as well, that kind of refreshes you. Staying in a hotel and kind of not having the same routine every day. That's really refreshing for me. Even if I'm still making videos. Like I've got interviews lined up while I'm in the hotel,
Mhm.
but it's it'll be fun.
Well, and like you say, you're getting ready to go into you're doing it full time, so like that's gonna be something that changes up,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, hoping to do it full time, so it'll either be full time or I'll be in very short order looking for another job. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow is my last day at work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I hope your last day goes well. I know it'll be the best day you ever had because you're gonna be like everybody else who it's their last day, right? You're gonna be like, it's my last day. I'm never coming back here again. I really don't care.
So I have disliked having to work there one Sunday a month the whole time I've been there. And tomorrow, which will be Sunday, Japan time,
Mm.
um, is like it's gonna be the easiest Sunday for me ever because I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if anything stressful happens. It doesn't matter at all. I'm because it's my last day."
That's right. I'm never coming back
Mm.
ever. So
Yeah.
I hope it goes smooth for you. Whatever, anything. I mean, at the end of the day, what are they gonna do? Fire you? I mean, come on.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, I seen one. I was right above it. A keto Vagorian. Why do I have struggle with these words so hard? Like I can clearly read keto Vagorian.
Yeah, I think, the kid of Kitavorogonian
Yeah.
was in our live stream with Nicole and Carrie before, and I think her name is Becky. Please correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but I think her name is Becky.
I know, but like, okay, I think I do. Yeah, I do agree. I think she was on a live with them last night too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'm not. I can't remember, man. I try to check. I
Yeah.
jump into them and I'll comment a little bit, and then I'll try to get my stuff done. But that's cool. So I think I got it right. Keto Vigor and Becky. I will remember it from now on. How about that? Israel's at the top of my list. Specifically, was that Elot?
A lot. Well, do you know what special things are about Eilat? Is that a special
Mm-mm.
kind of religious area or?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know, but it'd
okay.
be cool. You can comment in the comments what is it about you like, because I don't, yeah, I don't know a lot about it.
Mm.
That's interesting though. Very cool.
You don't know a lot about Eilat.
Right, exactly. There you go. How about that? I don't know a lot about Eli. Yeah. Oh me, my friend. That's my neighbor. I used to play the guitar by ear and was a singer in a Southern gospel quartet, soloist, praise, and worship leader. Praise team singer, choir music was my ministry, but haven't sung in years. Hey, now you're on Cornwall, you can do anything. You might as well you may just go right back to it. Who
Mm,
knows? It's amazing. That's really cool
right.
though. Awesome. I've heard singers get start carnivore and say that their singing improved, their range and flexibility or whatever improved when they started eating carnivore.
Yeah. It's amazing when you see what does improve for people, like things that you would never expect, like that singing voice improves, or you know, I talked to Ran the other day. His stutter virtually disappeared, and I know he was talking to you as well about that. Yeah, um, it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's amazing how much can improve
It
when you're
is
not when you're not filling your body with poison.
100%,
Mm.
absolutely. And the non-scale victory, that's what I did today, man. Like I set up a thing in the private group where we always are discussing things that benefited us, tips that we can help. And today on Fridays, I specifically love everybody sharing what victories they have or non-scale victories they have had for the week, because if we keep reflecting on them every week and we list those, then everybody who comes into the group is going to be able to go through the history of those posts and see all the many things time after time after time, and you don't know who you're going to encourage and be able to change by your testimony, you know.
Mm.
Just hearing it from me is great. It's amazing. But hearing it from me and hearing it from Dave and hearing it from Kip and hearing it from Larry and hearing it from grumpy old Ben and Carnivore Scott and Keto Bulgarian and Wooster and like Kiwi, like all those folks, like everybody's
Mm.
voice is important and everybody has a story. And it doesn't matter that you only lost 2 pounds this week, or you lost 20 pounds this week, or you lost 100 pounds this week. All those things are valuable and they're all a testimony to somebody, because everybody
Mm.
can relate to different people different ways.
Yeah. And I think one of the important things that I always try and keep in mind when I'm thinking about this is, you know, um, we've all been told to do low fat or to do vegan diets or to do vegetarian diets or whatever it is over our lives. But how many groups are out there? How many cohorts of people are making YouTube videos from vegan groups or from vegetarian groups or whatever, saying, I've cured all these things. I've no longer got arthritis. I've no longer got, you know, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. And all I had to do was eat lettuce, or
Right.
all I had to do was eat less and move more. And now I no longer have the arthritis. You know, no one's out there saying that. It's only people who are doing a ketogenic way of eating that get these results.
Right. Yeah, and that's what that's absolutely the case. If it were any different, I would if I had been healed by being a vegan, I would be on here right now talking about being a vegan. I'm not mad at you. My partner that I spent more time on a truck with for a lot of years than anyone else. I talked to her this week, day before yesterday. I love her. She's like a good friend of mine. I've been in a lot of sticky situations, and I trust her with my life. She's a vegan. Doesn't bother me. I wish she would eat carnivore because I know how healthy it is and how it's transformed my life. But I respect her decision to eat how she wants to eat, and that's her choice. And I love her nonetheless. I wouldn't help her any less. I don't think one less bit about her. I don't think she's a bad person. I love her, you know, I have her back. Like when we were on calls, I like don't mess with my partner. Like you bringing out fighting Sean's side. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I roll. And we're close. We hadn't worked together in well over 4.5 years. I'm still texting her, talking to her. We're just like close like that. But I mean, that's what I mean. Tying that back in with what we were talking about earlier is you can love people that you disagree with and form friendships and relationships and help people out and be good in this world, even though you disagree.
That's
But
right.
I thought that's critical. And stand for what you believe in. Nobody's going to accuse me of being a vegan or supporting the vegan lifestyle. I don't advocate it by any means. But at the same time, I'm also not over here beating them up either. Oh, Wooster72. What are your recommendations for someone wanting to start the carnivore diet but is hypoglycemic? Blood sugar gets low. You know, anything that you eat will raise your blood sugar. That's a fact. One of the main staples of getting your blood sugar to a place that needs to be. A lot of people, whenever we would go on calls, we'd initially get something sweet, but the thing that we would tell them is, look, we're going to give you this peanut butter or whatever to raise your blood sugar really quickly, or we're going to give you a bag of D5 to raise your blood sugar, or even D50 if the case called for it. The thing is, if you don't eat something with protein, it's not going to stabilize it. So like the sugar is quick acting because no matter whether you're hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic, your body is trying to eliminate the sugar from your system because it's not supposed to be there. And so if you are hypoglycemic and you're trying to get your blood sugar up, then it's an issue with your sugar stabilization. It's just on the low side of that, and you need to eat protein and you need to balance it out. And there's a definite reason why that's happening. Your sugar doesn't just bottom out because of no reason. It's typically due to insulin being released by your body to drive your blood sugar down. All those things work on feedback loops. When your insulin comes out, it's going to drive your blood sugar down. If your blood sugar goes up, it's going to cause your body to release insulin. That's just the way that it works. So stop doing things that don't do anything that would cause your insulin to be released would be the first place to start. And stabilize your blood sugar by eating stuff that doesn't spike your blood sugar every day, and like the sugar and carbs. But as far as recommendation for the carnivore diet, my recommendation is the same for every single person, no matter what your issue is, and that is start out getting something sustainable for you. Don't try to portion control. Don't worry about how many pounds you lost this week. Don't worry about all the benefits that will come down the road. The first thing you need to worry about is not having stuff like sugar, carbs, processed foods, seed oils, and having carnivore foods. Get used to eating that, whatever that looks like for you, and make that sustainable and continue on that. And that's my advice to any single person, because if it can be helped, hypoglycemia or anything else, carnivore diet is the most sustainable and optimal nutrition that you can give your body. Word. Dave, you got anything, brother?
Yeah, you stole it from me. I was totally gonna say 100% exactly the same thing. You stole it.
Good
No,
minds think
I
alike,
couldn't.
brother.
No, I
Hot
couldn't have said
mind.
it any better. I couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Oh, if you got any other questions, guys, throw them in the chat. We're approaching an hour, and let's see here. If you have anything,
I
have you,
saw one question back here somewhere. I think I forget. At I guess 11:23 Eastern time from Cat
okay,
Lady.
okay. Oh yeah, Keith from SBG. He changed his name from Carnivorous Keith to this one. That's awesome. The brother encouraged my heart. I was in there with him tonight in the non-scale victories group. They do a non-scale victory with Bella and Steak and Butter Gang on Friday nights. And I jumped in there with those guys because I love that group. I love their message. I love what they're teaching. And my brother Keith he blessed my heart. He gave me a shout out and encouraged me too. So
Nice.
thank you, Keith. I appreciate you, brother. He's always the happiest guy in the room. I tell you, he's always got a smile on his face, and he's just an encouraging dude, man. So I appreciate him.
Nice.
You said 23.
Yeah, 11:23 Cat Lady with a K.
I missed it. I gotta get that super chat too. There's a super chat. Let me hit that one.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
I didn't get it. Right here. Oh, what are your you two's hobbies? And no, you can't say YouTube or carnivore. Go ahead, Dave. I'll let you go
Mm,
first.
My hobby. So honestly, I don't have all that much time for hobbies. But I guess if I do have time, one of the things I like doing is playing. I like gaming, but it's kind of a sad game that I'm playing. I'm still playing Doom from not even the updated one. And I'm still playing like 1995, like updated WODs, but still the GZ Doom. Um, and what else? Yeah, I like tech. So, I like mucking around with programming and stuff like that. That's a hobby for me.
You know what you need to make your hobby is teaching your buddy Intentional Carnivore stuff about tech because he doesn't know anything about tech.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how about you, Sean?
Oh man. So I have really gotten into reading a lot lately. I used to never be, and I'm not very good at reading because I never made myself do it. But recently, I've been trying to work on my reading ability. I've got 2 degrees. I've read a lot, but I just don't feel like I read and like I don't know. I don't do it for fun usually, and I have been getting more into that to grow and learn and just different things. Um, Something I work at, but I also enjoy it. So I guess you can consider that a hobby.
Mm,
Um, I don't know, man. Like I love to write. I do write a lot. I have thought many times and talked to a couple of different people about writing a book, even before Carnivore, about just thoughts and stories and stuff that I've encountered in my life. Um, and with the carnivore stuff, it makes it even more interesting to me. The drastic, radical change of my life. So yeah, reading and writing are 2 things that I really like to do.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
and I like the gaming thing. I haven't cut I used to play PlayStation a lot, and I haven't even cut a TV on in 6 months or longer. Not even cut it
Mm,
on to sit down to watch TV. So my PlayStation is unplugged, sitting in a corner somewhere, just because I got too much stuff going on to mess with it.
yeah. I don't know about you, but I feel like once I once I hit my 40s, like I didn't I've almost I've almost been kind of just going from what feels like one putting out one fire to the next to the next to the next. And when you're doing that, not necessarily bad things, but just you're basically just going from one thing to the next, whether it's a good thing that's happening in family, or it's something to do with a bill that needs to be paid, whatever it is. You just going between all of these things, so you never actually sit down and go, okay, what am I going to focus on today as a hobby, or what fun thing am I going to do?
Oh yeah, the next fun thing that I'm gonna be doing at Casa de Sean is gonna be putting a coat of paint on his 12-year-old daughter's bedroom, because it's been a long time coming. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for a hobby in the not so distant future, hopefully.
So it is the plan to make it look like your green screen.
Um, it's going to be a little bit darker shade, like a gray color, but it would be amazing if it would look like that. I love the stat
Yeah.
rock, and the stat rock on the fireplace right here. It's amazing, and I used to do that kind of work. I did tile work, and so before I worked EMS, I worked for his place over in the big city near where I live in South Carolina, in Greenville, Campbell Tile. And we used to do terrazzo and stack stone like that, and ceramic tile, brick. We've done all kind of stuff.
No.
And so I can do that. That stuff just is out of my price range, but it'll be
That's
nice.
it looks really nice. Yeah, I love that kind of thing too. But just looking at the size of that room behind you, you said your place is small. That's like 5 apartments in Japan. That's
Oh wow! Right. So
like
my
that
house, let's see, is 1,400 square feet. Like
1,400 square
in,
feet.
and I have a single added car, one car garage added on that I keep a bunch of junk and never park the car in.
So I've got to do a conversion here to try and work out what the difference is. 1,400
Okay.
square feet. So your place is about 2.5 times bigger than our apartment.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like the living space in Japan is pretty.
Mhm.
It's nice enough, but it's compact.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
y'all have, yeah, yeah.
it's
And I
just
mean,
that it lands at a premium because basically when you're outside of the city, it's all mountains.
mhm. Oh yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, we got 3 bedrooms. We have 2 baths. I mean, it's nice. It was a little small to have 2 kids and then me and my wife. But at the same time, like I said, my kids at this point, our plan was to buy this house, keep it 5 years, sell it, and build a house. That was my goal back then. And now I think we owe like a couple 4 or 5 years on our house, because I've like just hammered on it ever since I could. I'd pay a little extra on it every month, when I could. And I think we owe like 3 or 4 years on our house, and it'll be paid
That's
off.
awesome.
And at this point, my kids are going to be at an age where if they stay here, fine, cool. If they don't, then we don't need a bigger house at this point. It's hard to think about selling a house that's almost paid off. At this point, I would love to build one or move, more to the country or with family, my brother in North Carolina, but I don't know. Who knows?
It's I mean, right now as well with the way everything's kind of economically uncertain globally, it's a good time to be 3 years away from paying off your mortgage and
Hmm.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I told my wife, I said, if something were to happen to me, which could be any moment, we never know when our last moment's going to be. I was like, this house is so close to paid off. You don't have to worry about a place to live, a place to stay. You and the kids are taken care
Mm.
of, and that was my goal in 2004 when I started paying on the spot. I was like, I worked hard trying to make it paid off so that in our middle, around 40, 45 years old, we wouldn't have to stress about a place to lay our head. That takes a lot of stress
Mm.
off the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's not a 2-story mansion or anything, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Very thankful. Is that the one, Heidi? Sean, what are your top tips to get over the sugar cravings early into the carnivore diet? Thank you, gentlemen. Love from Heidi from South Africa. That's South Africa. That's awesome. So my recommendation for when you first get on here, getting over the sugar cravings, is to eat until you're satiated, eat until you're full. Whenever you're full and nothing looks good to you, you're not going to be out trying to have those things. Try to your best to avoid all sugar. Well, obviously avoid sugar, but avoid artificial sugars, because even though it's not sugar, your brain doesn't know it, and it's going to keep triggering your brain's sensitivity to it. Along with, it's going to be releasing insulin and making you feel like crap all the time because you don't have the high blood sugar that insulin normally responds to. So I would avoid all those things. I would be as strict as possible, and fill up, eat until you're satiated on the meat until those things start to subside. Usually about 3 weeks to a month. I've seen people testify that they don't have those cravings as bad and they're a lot easier to overcome. But don't worry about the weight loss. Don't worry about the benefits that you're going to get. Worry about filling up on and getting used to this way of eating, and work on your mind. That's the best I got. What would you say? Anything any different that you would add, Dave?
No, I can't really add anything to that. Yeah, just cut, cut, cut. Don't have anything artificial, like Sean said, and you'll get over it. You'll get over it pretty quickly. I just have a question. What part of South Africa are you in, Heidi? That I'd love to know. I used to live in Cape Town. That's why I'm interested.
Cape
Yeah,
Town. Keto
Cape
Vogo, she
Town.
said, please just call me Becky. You're cracking me up. I might bust a rib. That is a beautiful resort town on the South Red Sea. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, that is cool. Definitely heard of the Red Sea, and obviously Jerusalem and all the things that I've read about in the Bible forever. That is awesome. Thank you for the super chat, friend. Yeah, let's see. Good gracious. Uh, Cat lover, the trombone sounds crazy. I can't. I fall into the mix, and like I get into the conversations.
Yeah,
Mike
definitely.
Shawty, cheers to your success, Dave.
Thank you very
That's
much, Mike. I appreciate it.
absolutely goodness. Thank you, Bella Brat. $100 to you, brother. Just always thank you so much for all you do. Have a great time in Sydney, and congratulations on your last day at work and new adventures. Big hugs to you and the family. Thank you for the
Thank you
super
so
chat.
much,
That
Bella. I
is
really
awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Sweet. Absolutely. And what good, great. Thank you. Goodness. This is towards the future of your preaching carnivore in Ireland. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's too
Wow,
kind.
Bella, that's
You're
so
very
kind of you.
generous. Yeah, that's a lot, and I appreciate you doing that. And absolutely, I'm gonna keep giving it a go. Sharing it in Ireland. That's matter of fact, I'm gonna tell my dad about that. How about that? That's awesome. Thank you so much. You are so kind, and I appreciate that. I finally made it to 23 too. Let's see here. Oh, Cat Lady, has anyone figured out what the exact mechanism is that carnivore is healing so many things? Does it have to do with normalizing blood glucose? Dave, what you think, man? You think it's the blood glucose issue that's the key manufacturer of the healing, or what do you
So
think?
I'm gonna make up my own ideas and also couple it with some things that Dr. Chafee talked about with me. So I think that the normalizing of blood glucose has something to do with it. I think also, um, basically what we're doing to ourselves all our lives from when we're kids is making our body work overtime for no good reason, and
Mm,
making our body like fight to just stay at a normal level or stay at a below normal level. Our body's like, no, stop doing this to me. Stop doing this to me. I just want to operate normally. And you're going, no, have some more Fruit Loops. And you're just poisoning yourself. So your body's constantly fighting against that. So it hasn't got time to heal properly.
Mm-hmm.
And coupled with that, when you change from poisoning yourself, you're already doing better. But then when you switch to eating a carnivore diet, which is a nutritionally complete diet like of red meat and eggs and food like that, what's happening now is you're giving your body the nutrition it needs to actually rebuild itself. And one of the things I talked about with Dr. Chafee was how my post-stroke symptoms have improved so much since I started doing carnivore. And he was guessing that what happens is the rate of healing that happens with the myelin sheath that carries the messages between your brain and everything else is it just speeds up. So the healing improves, the healing process improves, and so things get better much more quickly.
It covers all the nerves. The myelin sheath and the action potential is probably off ketones because we know that the brain and the heart run more efficiently on ketones than they do off of anything else. And so when you're eating only the fat and only the protein and your body goes into ketosis and whatever, it has no choice but to run on ketones and it's running more effectively. Who knows what the like you said, the action potential moving down the nerve in myelin sheath and going down and delivering signals more efficiently. It's like the whole system. At the end of the day, I agree with you 100%. I agree with Chafee. I think he's onto something. It could be the electrical current, the electrical conductivity of every neuron in the way that our brain communicates with everything. Whether it be because your brain is communicating with through nerves, through to your heart, to your hands to move, to your eyeballs, to see, through your everything, your toes, your walking, everything is controlled by your brain, whether it's your sympathetic nervous system or or whatever. But you give it the proper nutrients. We're giving ourselves stuff that it can survive on, but it was never meant to run off of continuously, if that. It's one thing if you're about to die and you eat something that's a substitute that could get you by until you could get that kill and process that meat that you're really supposed to have. But over extended periods of time, trying to live off of toxic food, you're asking your body to run off of less than adequate supply, and it's full of other toxic things to go along with the stuff that you can survive with. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like having a car. I love my car illustration. I don't know what it is about the car. About food is fuel. Doesn't matter. Just fill your car up. Put the right stuff in. Well, here's the other one. So like the car, it doesn't matter if the car runs completely and wholly, runs amazing. If you don't have the keys to start it, the car's not going to go anywhere. So you've got to have the right nutrients in what you're putting in the body, to make it function properly and function optimally. And I feel like that has a lot to do with it too. But the glucose is a huge thing because that's one of the biggest things that you notice off the bat, and one of the biggest things that it stabilizes, first out is the glucose. One of many things, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, and just on another topic, I'm just watching something go past in the chat.
Yeah.
Jennifer is talking about the Lifting Vegan Logic channel. Put out a video debunking Anthony Chafee.
Oh, I
And
can't wait to see that.
that is something I need to do a reaction to.
Mm.
The ironic thing about the Lifting Vegan Logic channel is that the word logic is in his channel name. It's because if you listen to him, there's very little logic.
We should
You
we
know,
should look it up. You know how to do that?
to bring it up here,
Yeah.
um,
Can we
we
do
can
that?
we can probably bring it up here, but it might slow down. Can we? Oh, we can. Yeah, I know how we can do it. Should we do it?
I
Should we
don't
bring it
care.
up?
Pull it up. I want to see. I want to see who thinks they're smarter than Anthony Chafee.
Okay.
That's what I'm curious about.
Okay. I've got to let me just open a different browser window because on the Mac, if I try and do this in Chrome, it's not going to work. Hang on one second.
All right.
Ba-da-ba-ba. Okay. What's this one? No, that's the wrong browser. Sorry. Okay. Let's
You
go. Okay. YouTube. And let's go. Lifting vegan logic.
That's why you got to have Dave Mack doing it, because if I were doing it, we would still trying to be figuring out how to. There's a present. And I watched them do it on the 24-hour live, and I was like, man, it's awesome how you can pull that up like that. I need to get around in here and mess with it.
Yeah. So sorry, an ad just came on. Hang on one second. I'll just turn the volume down to get through this ad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and it's all very ominous. He's got a black and white close up of Chafee with coming soon. It's
Yeah.
all very scary and ominous. Hang on one second. Let me work out how to share this. Okay. And as I'm doing this, like my concentration face is probably 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 all weird. Okay, share screen. Okay. Sharing screen with two is easiest with two monitors. Yeah. Okay. Don't okay. All right. So what I've got to pick the window that I'm going to share. Hang on one second.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh my goodness. How many windows have I got open? This is crazy. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, I could have done it through Chrome because it lets me share just the tab. All right. Well, too late now. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes, I do. All right.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. So that's in the. Can I operate it through here or do I have to go into the window? No,
I
I have
think
to
you
go
have to.
into the window. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You're there.
Okay. And let me turn that.
That's the only thing is the volume. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay.
Uh-uh.
Okay. I need to do something with the settings. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Dun, dun,
You
dun.
guys, you're gonna see the reaction live here if we can get it worked out.
Yeah. I need to work out how to do this. All right. Is there another question there you can put up on the screen for a second just while
Yeah.
I work out how to share the sound?
Okay. Yeah. Do I need to remove it, or are you good?
Oh no, that's all right. I've got a different window.
Okay. Yeah. Carnivore Scott says, "What degrees do you gentlemen have?" I have. I have a degree in applied science and a degree in religious studies and theology. I have two associate's degrees, and hopefully have my bachelor's whenever I can get a little bit of time. But I want to finish up and get my bachelor's in religious studies and theology. But you, Dave, you got a what? Do you have a degree?
I don't. Um, shock here. Let me just remove this for a second. I didn't even finish high school. You heard it here first.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
I didn't either.
yeah, I left high school about 3 months into my final year. and that like I'd always been an A+ student, right? And always done really well. And then I got to that final year of high school and my grades just went off a cliff. And I was just like, I'm done with this. I've had it. What is this? Why am I doing this? And I thought, I'm done. And I already knew how to program computers because I've been programming since the 4th grade. And
Oh wow.
so I thought to myself, I'm going to go and find an IT job. So I found an IT job, then I left school, and yeah.
I actually quit halfway through the 10th grade.
Mm.
And then I went and got a GED right before my class graduated, and then after that I went on to college. But
Oh wow.
I was the same way. I had a 3.4 GPA when I quit high school. I just got so sick and tired of going to school and just wasting time, you know.
Mm.
So I was like, I'm done. I quit. And then I spent the next 4 years getting a degree at night after I was working, and then not long after that, got another degree for a couple of years. It's just wild how it worked out.
Wow. Um, okay. Let me see if I can get this.
Okay.
Okay. So it looks like I've got more options if I share a Chrome tab. So I'll try and do it with a Chrome tab. Hang on. Share
Okay.
screen. Some screens let you share audio. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So the
Line
video is
Max.
called Anthony Chafee, Worst of Carnivores.
There you go. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
read the super chat real quick.
Okay.
Hi, 52-year-old female with hyperthyroidism, lots of pain and fatigue and weight gain until August when I started carnivore. Now pain is gone and I've lost 8 kilograms. That's awesome. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for sharing your testimony. You never know who that's going to impact. And also thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you giving
Yeah.
it and keep the channels
Thank you
going.
very much. And that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. So since fatigue and weight gain until August when I started carnivore. So started carnivore in August. That's been 2 months, and you've lost what, about 17 pounds. That's amazing. That's great.
Right. That's amazing.
Wow. Nice work. All right.
What?
So tell me if you can hear the audio from this. No. Okay. That's because I've got the volume turned down. Hang on a second.
I was just eating
Yes.
vegetables like spinach, kale, broccoli, and just meat. And just by dropping the spinach, kale, and broccoli, I lost 10 kilos in 10 days. And so it would just came right off me. And I was eating more calories. I was eating much more meat. I started eating a lot more meat, a lot more fatty meat. So I probably quintupled my calories, but I lost 10 kilos. So I probably quintupled my calories, but I lost 10 kilos.
This man claims to have simply dropped spinach, kale, and broccoli from his diet, but then probably quintupled his calories and then lost 10 kilograms or 22 pounds. Just what? Hey, what
Logic.
is going on, guys? So today we're going to be starting a new series titled Worst of the Carnivores. I say kind of because I've already done a video on the carnivore doctor, Sean Baker, which technically falls under the goals for the series, so I recently renamed it to fit the series. If it wasn't obvious, in this series we will be investigating various claims made by specific carnivore influencers, whether they have any merit, how they stand up to the scientific literature, and more. Today's episode will be on Anthony Chafee, a very prominent figure in the carnivore movement. At the time that I'm filming this video, he has 165,000 YouTube subscribers and 154,000 followers on Instagram. According to his YouTube channel, he is an American medical doctor and neurosurgical resident. Let's now investigate some of the claims he's made. We'll start with his video titled, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Plants Are Trying to Kill You. Now, before we...
Like this guy. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I love the people who do that, and I'm gonna debunk so and so. Well, that doesn't prove your point,
Exactly.
right? It's not just because you try to think in your mind, debunk someone else, which even going into this, I know better than to think anybody debunked Chafee. I know going into it, it didn't happen, but nevertheless,
Mm-mm-mm.
debunking is not the way you prove a point. You're not debunking it because you're not proving that yours is correct either. So
Yeah.
anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Before we get into the video, I will say that given we have no good reasons to think that plants are sentient, I find it hard to fathom how they could even possess intentional states. So when he says plants are trying to kill you, I'm very confused. But anyway, let's give this video a watch.
So let's take a think about this. Okay, so just botany 101, plants are living organisms and they like to stay living organisms. If you eat them, they die. And so they have defenses just like any other living organism. And while animals can run away or fight back, plants can't. And so they use a lot of different things, but poison is one of their main deterrents. They use these defense chemicals to poison the animals that are trying to eat them. And they have hundreds of different ones.
Now, this whole idea is very interesting because some plants, like fruits, spread by us consuming their seeds and spreading them about. So for some plants,
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't mean all plants, right? This is the thing with these people. Like, it's everything. When they want to prove someone wrong, it's everything is taken literally, because if you take everything literally and there's no room for context or nuance, then it's very easy to say you're wrong about something.
Oh, absolutely. And thank God that there was people around to spread fruit all over the country or all over the world, because if they hadn't have picked the fruit up and ate it and spread it, then it would just be in this one little area. Come on, dude, really? That's not valid.
plants being eaten is actually the way in which they spread their seed. Quite literally, which of course spreads the existence of their species. So even if you want to pretend like plants have a kind of intentional state, I wonder if Anthony Chafee thinks that, okay, maybe we should just eat fruits because, we're doing them a favor too, right? We're helping them spread.
This is why most plants in the world are inedible. We sort of know this intuitively. If you got lost in the woods here, and you ran out of food, you wouldn't be able to eat any random plant. Most of them would make you very sick.
Yeah, so while it is true that most plants in the wild are too toxic for us to consume, the good news is we know which ones aren't. So we eat those. Amazing. It's almost as though the means by which the typical person procures plant foods is in a grocery store where edible plants are sold, as opposed to a jungle where the majority of plants are poisonous. Crazy stuff here.
The issue is, though, that, I mean, those vegetables that we can eat are just not quite as toxic as the other ones.
Right. Not that they're not toxic. They're just less toxic than some of the other plants. It's not that they're not trying to kill you. Oh, this guy.
And often it's because the toxicity has been bred out of them.
Right. And they're mutated from their original form for sure.
Yeah, I think Brussels sprouts is a good example. Yeah, I think Dr. Sivers talks about that.
And I so honestly, I wonder how many people can actually go out into the wild and pick out something that they can eat, like in a place that they don't know that it's not going to hurt them, honestly. Like there may be a few people that have studied this thing or can recognize certain key things that you can eat, but I guarantee you it's not as easy. You might think you could just walk out into the middle of a big field and pick up some freaking cabbage or something, or whatever, go find the stalk from a carrot that's buried and you're going to dig that up. But like, it's not as easy to locate a lot of the things that you think you can locate easy spoken. And I know this because when I had a garden, like the first year that I did it, it's not like I investigated it. I planted a bunch of seeds, and then instead of weeding it like I was supposed to, I let it go for a little bit. And when I go out there to weed the weeds out of it and keep the plants, I'm like, oh crap, I didn't think about this. What is it going to look like? It's not like I can look through the dirt and see the carrot growing under the ground to know what not to pull, right? So unless you mark it or something, it's not like you're going to know if you haven't studied or grown it lots of times. You think you're just gonna walk out in the wild? So yeah, we know what we can and can't eat, dude. Like that's a very assumptive on your part. A lot of people don't know what they could eat if they didn't buy it at a grocery store on the shelf.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, not to throw shade at anyone, but can
Mhm.
you imagine a group of university aged Gen Z people out in the wild trying to
No.
decide what vegetables or plants are safe to eat? I can't.
Mhm.
Running Tap at 12:01. Running
Uh,
Tap makes a good point. IBS is common and it doesn't come from meat. Very,
right?
very well said. Very well said.
Absolutely. Right about there is where I would cut the video. Like that, if I
Mm,
were like scrolling through and I've seen the video title and my buddy Anthony Chafee, Dr. Anthony Chafee, who I respect extremely highly and very much. I love Anthony. I respect him. I think that he is one of the smartest minds. Um, so I would definitely check out something that was trying to dog my man out, and I would probably cut it right there. Like this dude, I know going into it, I'm already biased about it, but right there is probably where I would cut it.
yeah. It's the thing is, I mean, everything's going to be tailored to getting to where he wants to go, which is saying that, you know, this is crazy. These guys are just so crazy. All saying they don't want to eat plants. All your life you've been told that you should be eating plants. You know, why do you think that, why would that ever not be the case? And yeah, it's just he's just a bit of a, I don't know, a vegan. He's a logical vegan.
Right. Not
Yeah.
that, Anna. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. PSA: I started Carnivore June 12th, healed my pains, and lost 40 pounds. Last week, I decided to conduct an experiment and eat some dessert. And guess what? It's the problem. I won't do that again. Well, now you know, friend. Congratulations on the 40
Yeah.
pounds. Since June 12th, dropped 40 pounds. That's amazing. That's huge. And you learn some stuff like you can't have a dessert. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe there's
That's
something you
awesome,
can't have
Anna.
as a treat, but that is amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, shall we continue or shall
Yeah,
we?
man. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, we're at an hour and a half now. I mean,
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. So, how about maybe we close out the live stream now, and maybe we could do a joint reaction to him or something like that at some point.
yeah, I think that'd be a good thing for us to do, and we'll jump off here and we will
Okay.
we'll do a joint reaction. That's kind of what I was gonna go for, and then I remember we better do a video of it, or I don't know, the live setting, because I might get set off and start. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get set off. I think it's awkward, but you guys tell us what you think. Go down in the comments if you check the video out. Tell us what you think, and how you feel about it. So, because I mean, Chafee's brilliant. I watch his stuff. I have no problem watching, the vegan guys, hearing what he's got to say. But I just know going into it that he didn't debunk Anthony Chafee. So am I being
Yeah.
biased? If so, just let me know. Tell me in the comments. But anyway,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you jumping on here with me, fellowshipping with me. It was good to see you, man. I was going through day withdrawals. I didn't think I could do a week without you. And so I appreciate you jumping in here
I,
and
I,
fellowshipping.
I appreciate you sending the message. It's been real fun. I really enjoyed myself. So thank you very much. And I guess, wow, it's very late there for you, right? It's
It is.
midnight now. Yeah.
It's 7 minutes after midnight. I got to get to bed.
wow.
I got to get in here and hang out. So,
Okay. So have a good weekend.
absolutely,
And
bro.
looking forward to seeing you on the live next week.
Absolutely. We'll have a great time. And you too, have a great last day at work. And
Thank you.
and everybody else too. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. You guys stay strong and keep pushing.